to know enough. Too old to play the part, too cool for showing up. Too dumb to say what's smart, so I'm a substitute waiting for the game to start. But I ain't trying to get played like change your heart. And may I park and find me another ride. I'm letting Florence tell you how I feel inside.
So I am constantly amazed, but not really, if I'm being honest. Oh, so most of you guys know that I own a suit and tuxedo shop, and I am constantly amazed at the number of guys nowadays, and I feel like it's becoming more and more prevalent, that don't know their shoe size. It's like when I ask them, like, what size shoe do you wear? I've just asked them a high level physics problem to solve in front of my, you know, like I got a chalkboard behind me, and I'm like, all right, you get up there and tell me what's going on. No, I've literally just asked you what you wear every day, how things are supposed to fit. I get that more, right? I get that more, like you don't understand or don't know how this is supposed to fit a little tighter in the shoulders. If you wear a suit, it's a little tapered more through here. But even so, they'll try it on and they'll go like, it just feels a little tight. And I want to be like, are you going to be walking around like Frankenstein all night? Because they'll do this too. They'll be like, the sleeves are too short, and then they'll stick their arms out like. I want to be like, are you going to be walking around like Frankenstein all night? Are you going to be walking around like this? A lot of times I'll tell guys, all right, just relax your arms, and then they'll do this. Who does anyone relax their arms like this? No, I don't. I feel like the dumbing down of America is becoming more and more evident the older I get, and maybe this is just me getting older and being cranky, or being that old cranky guy. I don't know, but I feel like it's true. Like there's so many guys nowadays that I feel like if they got a flat tire on the side of the road, they would have no idea what to do. It would be like they would just have no idea how to change that tire. And the dumbing down of America is only going to get worse. I feel like, especially with AI and things coming down the pipeline. I feel like is going to happen is the gap between intelligence and stupidity is just going to widen, right? At some point, like in the 50s and 60s, I feel like in my grandfather's generation and my dad's generation, the gap it was more like it was more balanced. Um, but I feel like most guys back then knew how to change a tire. They knew how to change, different things, fix different things around the house. But I feel like that gap is only widening because it's not being taught to the generations coming up. So there's going to be like specialists, and then there's going to be people who have no idea how to do anything, right? I feel like we rely so much on technology and certain things that it's made us dumber, right? I mean, you just look at Chat GPT, Grok, and all these other AI platforms that are coming down the pipeline. They're only going to get more advanced. And to think what they can do now in 10 years down the road, who knows what's going to be, prevalent among our society, among things that affect who knows what they're going to affect. It's going to really hide people's stupidity because they'll just say, type in this, and then it'll make it sound like they're super smart, or it'll hide certain things but then you got to have other systems that detect this has been AI generated. But then you'll have other systems that say, pretend that this is not AI generated. Like there'll be like this trying to hide the fact that it is. It's just, there's so many things that I feel like artificial intelligence is going to disrupt and hide people's stupidity, but also unveil it. And it's going to be fascinating to see what happens when my kids get older, um, as things develop, and I'm going to try to teach them the best they can to do certain things and not just rely on technology, because if something breaks down, you're going to need to know how to fix it, um, or at least be capable of learning how to fix it. Some people aren't capable. If something breaks down in my house, I can look up videos. I can do things that my dad taught me. Granted, now I can't do everything that he can do, but um, if push came to shove, I feel like I could manage. And some people, they just weren't taught that, and it's unfortunate. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Interesting to see what happens in the future. But guys, know what size shoe you wear. Know what size shirt you wear. Don't look at your wife. If I ask you, or anyone asks you, really, like if you're at a store and they're like, "What size shoe you wear, sir?" and you like look at your wife like, does she dress you in the morning? Does she wipe your tush after you go number deuce? I don't know. These are just my thoughts. If you like this video, cool. If you didn't, well, maybe you'll like the next one.